about is how prevalent, but also how deeply programmed we are to be in a lack mindset. And obviously this depends on your background, how you're raised, and things like that, if that really applies to you, or in what ways that apply to you, right? Because the only form of abundance is not just material, it's not just money, it's also love, it's love, it's experiences, it's being properly nourished, it's all of these things. So at the same time, you can grow up with money, and you can also grow up in lack in other ways that people typically undermine, because they're programmed to always be focused on money. So people never really feel bad for people who don't come from money, because they don't have empathy. So it's hard for them to fathom that these people have problems, because all of their problems, or as far as they know, all of their problems revolve around money. So anyway, most of us have had some type of lack mindset to some degree, and so this is something that is like super, super important to deprogram, and it's a process, so long process. I know it's taken me a while, and I'm still working on it, to be honest. Especially when it comes to certain things, like me, I've been in a position before when I didn't have it at all, like financially. I was broke, and I had to learn to stop calling myself broke all the time. And then I also had to learn to treat myself, to give myself the things that I wanted growing up, which sometimes it's not even a major thing, but yeah, I had to learn how to treat myself on the level that I could at the given time, until my reality started to meet where my mind was at. But first I had to put my mind in a new location, right? And so oh yeah, the way people drive sometimes, I'm just like, if I wasn't looking out for the both of us, your ass would have had us both in this situation right now. But anyway, so yeah, so I started treating myself to different things. I started internalizing the idea of having money, of being rich. I'm sorry if this is a little shaky, y'all. Let's see if I can speed this up. But yeah, so I started internalizing the idea that I had more than enough, that I could more than pay my bills. In fact, for me, I started internalizing the fact that I'm a boss, because I always wanted to be a boss. I have a cap rising, like literally since I was a little kid. I used to collect business cards and act like I had clients and shit like that. So as much as I'm an artist, I've always had this aspect of myself that's very business oriented, and felt like I'm meant to be a boss. So basically though, I had little to no money, sometimes negative money in my bank account back then, and like, mind you, I've always hustled. I started having little businesses in elementary school. I was that kid, all the way up through high school to college, and anyway, so So I started internalizing a new mentality of lately with the local here in LA, man. Anyways, so yeah. And you know, one thing I incorporate a lot into my routine, and call it what you want, everything works differently for different people, right? So if this is not something that, you know, you can get into, that's cool. Like, or, you know, a lot of people in the spiritual community are judgmental toward because they bring religion to spirituality and they bring those same dogmas over to this. Missing the point. But everything is about how you feel, right? So for me, I listen to a lot of trap music, but I was like really internalizing the message. You know, I make this money, people pay me, I'm a boss, you know, and I would truly get into that vibration, like truly, I would feel it in my heart that was me. And then next thing you know, obviously I'm putting in work, right? Manifestation is not just an instantaneous thing, and you have to take no action to let the universe know what it is that you want. No, you do have to plant seeds. You have to take actions, and then the universe will meet you the other half of the way. But anyway, so I was working on my my website, my business, you know, wanted to launch that, and everything just came together like magic, you know, and next thing you know, what I was singing about and what I was feeling was becoming my reality. And that's been a business that I've had for the last 4 years, and has, you know, paid for basically everything. And so anyway, I was thinking though about how deep the lack mindset goes, because even now sometimes I'm like your brain, right? So it gets into these thought patterns, and then you actually start to just automatically, it's like an automatic process where you repeat certain emotions, like you evoke the feeling of an emotion that you always had when you did a particular thing. And even though your circumstance has changed, the same emotion can be evoked because it's embedded. It's already embedded into your thought patterns because of how long you were in that position. And I realized how sometimes I'd still be funny about like checking my bank account or some shit like that, because of all of the times that I would check that and I would barely have enough or not really have enough, you know, and it just made me realize, and this is years and years and years since I've been in a certain type of situation, and I still this road, I need to pave this street. I don't think I ever noticed how fucked up this street was until I tried to record a video driving down it. But anyway, so yeah, that's what made me realize like this shit is so deep, because sometimes those feelings are still there, and how that work continues, how you have to constantly integrate the new, even after you get to the place that you were initially trying to be at. So yeah, just a little story time about manifestation, cultivating mindsets to make that happen. Because at some point your manifestations will basically become something that's on autopilot. So the more that you do that, and I've experienced this on multiple levels, the more that you do that, the more things that occur in your life you can see as a direct result of something you just were thinking about. Like just thinking about it. So as you employ the power of your mind, the power of your mind becomes that much more potent. So instant manifestation sounds like a beautiful thing for people that aren't aware of the fact that manifestation is not a term that is just for good things happening miraculously. It's for things that we create through how we feel, how those things come to fruition. And so we are constantly manifesting, whether that's something that we we desire to experience or not, that we're manifesting. And so as you incorporate this knowledge into your day-to-day, into how you move, into how you think, and ultimately how you feel, you'll see how powerful this is, because things start happening instantly. And when you don't stay on your P's and Q's, not to put you in fear or anything, because once you do the work, it's already more automatic, that you're quicker to place yourself into a higher or a more elevated, even though I'm kind of trying to get away from these terms, because there's no up and down and all this type of stuff beyond a material dimension, right? You're just you're just moving at a different rate. So what people call high vibrational is a fast moving frequency. It's a fast vibration. And so which is another reason why once you make that switch over to being more consciously aware and implementing that into your lifestyle, it's automatically, you get over shit a lot faster, and you move on from things a lot faster, whether that be like embarrassment, breakups, something bad happened, like you lose a lot of money, or something bad I should say, because something great can come from you losing that amount of money. Like you can lose a job, and then you find out what your passion is at that time, and then you turn that into a job, right? So when you move in this way, your brain is always coming up with solutions and silver linings before it comes up with worst case scenarios and dilemmas and seeing everything as roadblocks. So this is the part of being on a faster frequency, or as people call it, in a high vibration. So yeah, it's definitely, I love it. It's not something to like stray away from. I just wanted to say that because I know I was like, well, you can manifest good or bad, and then you're going to start having instant manifestations, and you will see the consequences of when you're not, your feeling is not focused on what you desire to experience, on already feeling that way. But that wasn't to discourage, it's just to be mindful of how dynamic this whole thing is, and the fact that we did create this duality here. So everything has those two opposite sides of the coin that are really a part of the same thing, because nothing is separate. That's just an illusion. So anyway, thanks for tapping in with me. I'm out.